I am sending Congress a plan that will give every responsible homeowner in America the chance to save about $3,000 a year on their mortgage by refinancing at historically low rates.
In today's Money Count segment, President Obama unveiling his latest idea to prop up the housing market is a national refinancing plan. Of course, you, the taxpayer, would ultimately be on the hook. It's another government program. Newt Gingrich warning that you should expect a lot more at a high price to taxpayers if the president does get a second term.
Make no bones about it. If he can have a record this bad, unemployment this bad, deficits this bad, policies this bad, gasoline prices this high, and still get reelected, you can't imagine how radical he'll be in his second term.
To Indiana Republican Congressman Dan Burton now. Congressman, great to see you. So is Newt right on this?
Yes, sir. He sure is, David. How you doing?
Good. I'm fine, thanks. Now, by the way, you've worked with Newt for many years. Have you endorsed him or any other Republican candidate?
Yeah, I've been supporting Newt. I was down in Florida this week campaigning for him. Evidently, my campaigning was not very effective.
Well, you didn't have as much money as Mitt did, but let me just ask you, it's interesting because a lot of people say everybody who worked with him in Congress don't like him, they'd never support him, but you're an exception to that.
Well, Newt and I had our differences. I think everybody does. When you're a strong leader like he is, you're going to have times when people disagree with you. I was angry at him a couple times, wanted to poke him in the nose, but he's a great leader, and he might have hit back. He would have been and he was a great speaker, and I think he'd be a good president.
I don't know. I'd put my money on you if you guys went toe-to-toe at any time on any subject. But question about what the president might do. This new plan, for example, once again, he describes it as something that is free, sort of like Obamacare. You can do all these extra things without anybody actually having to pay for it, but it puts us on a hook, doesn't it?
David, you know, he keeps talking about all these programs that are going to help everybody. You know, the government can't give you anything unless it takes away first. And it's going to cost taxpayers more. It's going to raise taxes on banks. It's not going to solve the problems. What we need to do is just get government out of the way and let the free market work, and it would solve the problem a lot quicker.
If the Republicans maintain control of the House in the next election, and if the president is reelected, won't there just be a stalemate, or will the president actually be able to get some stuff through without Congress?
Well, David, right now what he's doing is he's trying by by presidential edict to do things. He's trying to pass regulations through the bureaucracy by bypassing Congress. This man is a socialist. A lot of people don't want to say that, but he is. He believes in government control over the entire private sector. And if he gets reelected, the American people can expect, in my opinion, more government control, more taxes, more spending, and it's going to take this country economically down the tubes.
By the way, at the top of the show, we had Sarah Palin on. She's come out pretty much for Newt. She won't call it an official endorsement, but she says because the president is committed to this ideology, it's going to take a real strong hand, somebody that may be stronger than Mitt Romney, to defeat him in November. Do you agree?
Well, I'm not going to say anything bad about Mitt Romney or anybody else. I'm just going to tell you that Newt is tough. I know. I've known him for 30 years. He was a great speaker. He brought us back from the abyss when we took over in 1994. He helped write the contract with America. We had welfare reform that cut welfare costs dramatically, and we had 3 or 4 balanced budgets as a result of what he did. And yes, I think he would cut Obama to pieces in a debate. And I think that's what we need. We need somebody that's ready to take on a knockdown, drag-out fight to get rid of this president.
Well, at such an exciting moment in our history, no matter what you feel, you have to admit it's exciting, all this political change and everything. Why are you leaving? I just heard that you're retiring. You're hanging up the gloves.
Well, David, I thought that you needed some assistance on Fox Business, and I thought I'd come over and...
Anytime.
No, I'll tell you, David, there's some personal problems, some health problems in my family, and I thought I'd spend a little more time with my wife and get to see my grandkids. So I thought I'd maybe take it a little easy for a while.
Well, our heart and our prayers go out to you and your family. I hope that health issue resolves itself well, and it's always a pleasure to have you on, and you are welcome here anytime as a congressman, David, or after you leave.
You know, I've said this to you many times. You're one of my favorite people on Fox Business, and and I think everybody ought to demand Fox Business.
Boy, you just guaranteed that you're going to be on anytime. Congressman Dan Burton, wonderful to see you, sir. Thanks for being here.
Okay, David.
Appreciate
Thanks a
it.
lot.
Best of luck to you. Well, are